Three, two, one, and hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Days of the Wolf, news from ancient Earth. As you know, the theme of this is a time-traveling criminal hacker somewhere in the future reporting on ancient Earth news. That's the fictitious role that I'm playing. Anyway, little note about the day. First topic is the topic of contracts, especially in the software world. A lot of things have. I probably went through my entire life contracting roles. Made a lot of mistakes, especially my first contract that I ever got from BioLoop. I didn't even have a contract. Didn't even have the sensor wherewithal. It was just kind of a handshake. And to that, I did get paid for a while, until things happened within the corporation and I didn't have a contract to my name. So it's like I kind of had to deal with it. But the second contract and subsequent contracts, I wrote out, got everything in words. And generally speaking, with clients are often like this, depending, their ability or inability to pay is one thing. Not many people know this, but I got a contract around May for a company that I won't mention right now, but needless to say, it had all the trimmings that I initially wanted. It was blockchain based. There was cryptocurrency components that were going to be put into it, and it was pretty much media. And the idea behind it was, and I'm going to take up the mantle and probably even go forward with it. But the deal with the contract, I worked for the guy for a month. Everything was in writing. And at the end of the month, when I expected to get paid, he kept on, floundering and floundering, and I don't have the money right now. Our investors pulled out and stuff. So it's like contract in hand, everything legal, and yeah, sure, put a letter of demand and the whole thing. But an inability to pay is an inability to pay, and even though you win the lawsuit or whatever, you still got to collect, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with that particular contract. But the unfortunate thing is that it put me kind of behind the eight ball because I put myself out. I worked on this project. I set up the GitHub. I did all the testing. I did what engineers do. Especially when they're kind of laying out the groundwork, and that inhibited me from going forward and looking for other jobs and stuff like that, because I just figured, okay, everything's on the up and up. The guy seems kind of, I was even working with other people, that didn't get paid either, in the end, but it happened. And, it absorbed like 2 months of my time that I could have been pursuing other employment gains and stuff. But long story short, I got out of it, and it's a little bumpy right now. I got some subsidies coming in, but not enough to really cover a lot of things and incidentals and stuff like that. Like my accounts at a negative balance, I got to take care of today. But it's like, had I even gotten paid by that contract, or been able to collect anything from it, I wouldn't be in a position like this. But it happened, and I foolishly thought that signing a legitimate contract and doing everything legal on the up and up and would be proof against an inability to pay. This is probably the worst situation, because most of my clients, they pay. They don't necessarily pay the way I want them. In fact, last contract from another company, and I'll mention this one because it was Qubit. I was pretty much creating their site, getting everything fleshed out on WordPress. And the only stipulation is he wanted to pay me in PayPal. And I didn't have a PayPal account that I really dealt with, because I heard all the bad things about PayPal. And when I started to do the, when he paid me, all good faith and stuff like that, I set it up, but PayPal is delaying it for 21 days because I haven't activated my account in a certain day. Then it was an additional 7 days. It took me about a month to get actually paid out. And that was just frustrating as hell. So the client in good faith paid me through PayPal. And PayPal just took their sweet time. So that was a delay in that. So the terms and the situation, of payment, which is why I'm really partial to the blockchain and why I'm really, excited about it, is that, your public key and pay me and that's it. No intermediaries, no banking system that I have to, it takes a week to process your direct deposit, on the routing, and it has to go through Swift and, and it takes a couple of days, and hopefully we get to that point, but we didn't. And that's why I'm pretty much involved with the blockchain and cryptocurrency, because it's just a way, to streamline your wealth instead of having all these third-party agents fucking up the program. Considering that even the contracts themselves, you got to get the clients to pay you. So now you got to deal with the clients, hopefully, that you're getting paid. And the second part is the banking system or the system of finance, which is delaying that even further. So that was my little rant for today, and now we can get to the news. All right, a lot of things have been happening, especially with in the development world. Let's see. One interesting thing is U.S. indicts Ukrainian hackers who stole millions of credit and debit card numbers. Interesting, and this goes back to the idea of the banking system, kind of being vulnerable to that. Hackers are going to be able to attack centralized points of where a repository of credit card numbers and debit card numbers and customer information would be. Blockchain doesn't have that. So they caught him, probably did a lot of investigation work, but they got him, or they're indicting them. Tesla on track to turn a profit this year. I'm really happy about that. I know it's kind of been a rough ride for Tesla, and a lot of what Tesla, the car company, has been going through, especially in competing with the other car factions that are out there, Fords and stuff like that. They're just now kind of getting the clue, and they're just now kind of getting smart and savvy with it. Honda did a great job with hybrid motors, but Tesla kind of built it out ground first. I think the only real big hiccup was the manufacturing process, but I'm glad that he's on track now, and it kind of really, it's interesting. Oh, and the most recent one, Congress passes a bill forcing tech companies to disclose foreign software probes. This is obviously a Pentagon thing, probably related to the Russian antiviruses and stuff. I have to say about that is, the code is the code. Learn it well, and you should be okay. Especially when you need to kind of defend yourself against things that aren't really on the up and up. So that's pretty much my spiel for today, modern news and my little rant. I want to thank everybody for listening to me. I think that going forward, especially with contracts and stuff like that, just be wary, be on the up and up. Know that not everybody kind of plays truthfully, and there's a lot of dangerous and stupid and people in the world. Even though you do everything legitimately, even though you do everything the way you're supposed to, there's just so many factions and variables, and it's like the ultimate thing is, well, just get a regular job, get a real job. Well, we're getting a real job, You're dealing with the same thing with employers, of regular jobs than anything else. You're at will with them. You're an entrepreneur or real job. Either way, at least as an entrepreneur, you're taking your fate in your own hands. If you fail, you fail. If you're working for somebody else that's paying your salary and they fail, you fail. But they won't feel the sting as much as you when they let you go. So that's that. Anyway, thanks everybody. If you feel like donating, please do so. That would be so great. It'll keep the channel open, and I'll be able to refine myself, with a better lighting situation and stuff like that. I do appreciate everybody that watches. It's kind of it's the first time for me, and I'm still experimenting, but it really helps out. Comments down below if you're on YouTube, and please feel free to donate. Come to my website, daysofthewulf.com. That's www.dazeofthewulf.com. If you're already on the blog, then you know where the address is. Anyway, peace out, guys. Take care.